Morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing all right. Jumping right into my watch list for today. We got BBAI. It's gapping up a little bit off of their earnings out last night. They're also acquiring Sage for 250 million. The 660s level has been key pre-market and the daily as well. We could clearly see how it's respected it during every run, and it's also where a lot of the moving averages are aligned. So if we could open up above that and start the trend, I'd be interested. We have these higher lows on the daily, and if we zoom out a little bit, we could just kind of see how it's just been building up, and if that 660s start to support, I think we could see some sort of nice push towards some upper range levels here. We got NBIS, which had another new agreement with Meta, $3 billion over 5 years. They also had earnings out. It's ran right into that 118 daily level. Now it's fading a little bit, but I'm basically just watching for any push and trend to join. I'm not going to wait till 1850s. If it starts to build up over 114s, then I'd be interested taking that, beforehand. DVLT had this headline out in the morning for real-world assets and tokenization. They expect 2025 revenue outlook between 30 to 60 million, and they believe 2026 revenue guidance to exceed 200 million. So very linear chart, huge move on both directions. If we start to build up a little bit, then that would be of interest over there. The 190s is a pretty key level there as well. So any, build beforehand, I'd be interested again. I wouldn't wait for 190, but I'm going to keep that in mind once it gets close. If it does get close, that's a key level. Two others I had on watch, but they're kind of gapping down a little bit. Lumen, this one again reminded me, a lot like BE when they had the partnership with Palantir, and then they, had their earnings out. It pretty much gapped down and soaked it back up and built a little bit. That's pretty much what Lumen's doing. This 1040s, I want to see it I don't want to see it open up down here and push. If that's the case, I'd wait a few more days or a week till it gives a whole better setup. But if we open up above that potential interest there, the 1130s is a key. You can see those top wicks, key seller up in that area as well. So keep that in mind. And then LAES in the quantum security basket, great moves. When it moves, consolidated for about 6-7 months, went on, another run, and now it's just putting in higher lows and tightening up. I would also like to see this kind of hold, above 590s or even the 550s, but 630s would be of interest for a potential continuation over there. That's what I got. Pass it right over to Josh.
Good morning. Just a couple names on watch list this morning. The first one is going to be this RGTZ. RGTI missed their earnings. It is flushing out a bit, and this is the long version of RGTI. The next one is going to be Grab. Nice daily here, perking up and getting above 6, kind of to the right side of this base after earnings. Another thing that I like to see. And then the last one is going to be this Real, which reported big earnings today. I'm going to watch for a consolidation after the first 20 minutes and then a potential ramp higher. That is all that I have this morning, and passing it to Emil.
All right. Morning, everyone. So few names on my radar this morning and today. One of them is Rivian. I like this one mostly because it's trying to pretty much push through this base. And as you can see, it's sort of consolidating here. So pretty much I'm expecting to see more or less of a breakout here. But, had this big volume day and then some sort of a consolidation. Then another push yesterday that it's reclaiming and testing previous highs. Now, what I would like to see here, it's giving some dips pretty much versus these days high. So any dips versus 16 and some sort of build up, I'm going to be interested in getting along, and then I'm going to keep the stop at today's lows. So most of the time I'm trying to be proactive in these, and yesterday been the trade on this one at these levels, but missed it. So if today is going to give those dips, I'm going to be interested. If not, then I'm just going to wait for another setup later, whenever it might be. TEVA, another name I'm watching. This is sort of an episodic pivot. It's going sideways, and I like the fact that it's having this narrow range. Now, any weak open or any build up at these levels, I'm going to be watching for a push higher. So any opening range break pretty much through 2450 ish, or weak open, build up, and then start to ramp, I'm going to risk pretty much this level as I'm going to say this level as a risk. Another name I'm watching. This one it's a little bit tricky because gapped up yesterday and sort of held. But if it's going to build up around these levels, so any build up above 4250, and then it starts to ramp, I'm going to be interested in getting a long trade there. Path. Also, same thing here. This one, it's pretty tricky. I like the daily chart. Now we shall see if it's going to find a base here. But pretty much what I'm going to watch today is any weak open after, any washout after the open, and looking pretty much to see if it's going to build up above this level. So pretty much any drop against this area, and then I'm going to be interested in taking a long at some stage, risking pretty much 1350 area. QS, I'm still keeping an eye here. This one, it's building up pretty nicely. It's a loose setup right now, but even on weekly, it's looking pretty weak. As you can see, it's a big base and it's breaking out above it right now, and it's sort of holding above. So what I would like to see here, it's a drop versus 1550 area. I'm going to risk pretty much 15, more or less. I wouldn't like to see yesterday's lows violated. So would be nice to see that wash out and then catching a bit there for a push higher. SNDK, another name I'm watching. I'm watching this one for a short. It's pretty extended at these levels. So right now, for me, the plan would be, push against red to green. And then if it's going to find some supply there, I'm going to be interested in getting a short. I'm going to risk pretty much after our highs. So if it's going to decide to go higher, be it, but I think there's a decent chance to see one of these days, maybe even later in a week, to see rock plug. So I'm pretty much stalking for that one. I haven't touched it since, but if it's going to do this type of move, I'm going to be interested. Then I'm going to keep an eye on two small cap. MSPR, one of them, it's pretty choppy and still holding. I would really like to see a push towards 80 cents. That would be ideal. So I'm not in a hurry with this one. So higher the better, but I think it's going to give a decent short opportunity at some stage. And the last one I'm watching is ENGN, which it's sort of holding. So at this stage, any pops against 1050 would be something that I'm interested. I'm going to risk 11 more or less if it's not going to stop. So yeah, pretty much that's what I have for today, guys. Good luck and catch you all later.
Yep. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Emil. Hope you guys all